Hello and welcome back to the TurboSettle video series. What you're about to witness today is the back-end operations for one of the largest settlement companies in the country. And you're going to see that this entire process, which used to take 30 to 40 man-hours, being performed here automatically in under 3 minutes. This revolutionary and highly flexible data-as-a-service product uses advanced AI to weed through hundreds of thousands of debts and make automatic offers. TurboSettle makes offers on only those debts that are settleable now. No more wasted time hand-picking and calling on accounts only to find they are not settleable. This will save your negotiators countless hours, time, energy, money. We can show to negotiators only those debts that are available to be settled where the client has account funds in place in accordance with other debts, prioritized to maximize the fee, incorporates legal buffers, incorporates creditor guidelines that are learned through deep learning AI process that looks at the company's historical records and learns how to settle a debt for a particular creditor by making an automatic offer. And you're witnessing this automated process right here. We're going to show you how to make your own buttons within TurboSettle in any industry, not just in debt settlement. You're witnessing right here one automated process that happens daily for one of the largest companies representing 60 plus debt companies here in the US. You will be able to do shortly. Looking on the screen right now, you're seeing a particular process comprised of 12 different buttons, and each of those buttons has processes within it. You're watching level 2 of the extracting outcomes process. Very important part of the process, and we're going to take you right up to the end here where we just opened a report. We're going to email this report to up as many as 50 negotiators can be emailed automatically at once with a book of what to look for the day, what to settle for the day, to maximize the funds for your company. With this procedure in place, you can reduce your workforce by at least 50% or prioritize their work on other areas. Now, we're looking at one column called Last Auto Offer. This is actual prediction, $352 across 21 payments for a particular creditor, for a particular debt. It's a sweet spot of stage and has many non-intuitive factors and characteristics that you, as a debt company, might not be aware of that will allow the negotiator to make the most attractive offer on behalf of the client, get the settlement done, as well as prioritize legal debts first. Now again, looking at the Last Auto Offer column, we're focusing on a specific predicted settlement offer to show you what it looks like. Notice there are many features of an account that help the AI create outcomes using a complicated process that automatically determines which attributes are relevant to creating these outcomes. Now in this offer, we see $25.99 starting January 27th over 10 payments with a fee of $411 in the first payment plus 15 smaller fee payments. We customize the maximum number of fee payments to be as little as 4 and not to exceed the number of payments upon your company's requirements. Now here you're seeing you're about to change data for 1,700 records were just written or merged into the last 1,700 records we wrote. It keeps adding data, merging more data onto it, such as the first graded date, the first reported date, last reported date, and then the actual offers, over 29 other data points that we're going to look at in a minute. Now, as you see here, we are automatically merging again to these freshly discovered settleable trade lines for the day. This time, the actual offers and other data points are being written to our metrics data. This is the final step before auto-creating the reports for 40 negotiators, which is next. Based on the business rules and logic of your company, all of this is customizable by your own admin, providing unique data as a service and software as a service features for your company in any vertical. We're matching scrubs right now, a very interesting process. Pre-calculating scrubs, making scrubs offers. Literally can make the offers automatically, receive match lists, then scrubs, receive match lists, make offers. That's what it's all about, automating all your processes. Now we just emailed the rated trade lines live to all the negotiators associated with this very large company. The report was emailed, and now we're going to go take a look at it. There could be as many as 50 files where each file contains a list of clients with accounts available to settle, where the clients might have certain filters, like like they've already done at least a settlement, so the client is seasoned, or they haven't done any. And we updated our metrics table again with the last reported date to show that we just reported on this today for invoicing purposes. Now, we're going to take a look at the report right now. We're going to show what a given Excel file that gets sent to a negotiator looks like. One of, again, up to 50 in one shot, where each file contains the book for the negotiator to work on for the day. Again, this is just an example of many, many automated processes that you can do for your company in any vertical outside of debt settlement, anything in financial tech services. We can help you set up and automate your back-end operations to work within TurboSettle. Now, let's check it out. We're looking at this Excel file. Look at what we have here. Last name, client ID, trade line ID, age, cash rating. We give it a rating across 4 categories: current debt amount, last auto offer, max offer. Now, the last auto offer is what we want to look at. We see in the first offer we got $4,600 across 15 payments of $300 each. Well, what creditor accepts that? We'll see what the creditor is on the right in a minute, but let's look at the third one down. We see $127 across 21 payments, and it's $2,600 offer on a $4,400 debt. That means a 60%. Now, that's kind of high. What creditor does that? I happen to know that the third one down is associated with Discover, and we're going to see that later on the right. And that makes sense for Discover, only when it's a very old debt. And in this case, happens to be, hey, no coincidence, an old debt. Did we give this guidelines to the system? No, the system calculated this automatically from hundreds of thousands of debt settlements that we have in our system. And when permission is granted, we merge the data across companies so that your smaller company can get the benefit of huge amounts of data for our analytics purposes, even if you don't have seasoned negotiators that know what offers to make. We take care of that for you, and you can create whatever you can possibly imagine to manipulate data the way you want to. Now, let's go back. We look at the last payment. See, for the Discover, it's 864 days. That's almost 3 years. And yes, Discover will wait a good deal of time, but they still typically do not lower much. They're one of the hardest people to settle with, and the system figured this out. 60% is a reasonable offer, and they will take 21 payments because it was a big debt. It was $4,400. So, and now we can look at the first two were Lending Club. The current payee name was CKS Financial, and then Credit Control is a big one. They're a big buyer of debt or manager of debt. And Credit Control was settling, I think, at 46%, which makes sense when the debt is of a certain age. So we see generated offers. The money is available. No more your negotiator is going to be picking through hundreds and thousands of trade lines. And this is just one of several products that we offer where you can get back in the driver's seat and control your company, where each employee has the control of 10 employees now. So a small company of 2 or 3 or 4 people can have the power and efficiency of a much larger company of 20 to 50 people. This is just our analytics product. You can set it up how you want. We set it up for you to do whatever analytics you want, whatever industry you're in. This is just an example, and you're privy to seeing this live for the first time. And here we can break up the clients among many unique attributes about what book is presented to each negotiator. In your company, you might want to have a negotiator just for those accounts that are in legal status. You might have a book just for negotiators to handle clients that are seasoned, meaning they've done at least 1 or 2 prior settlements with the company. And then you might have at least 1 to 200 to 300 to up to 1,000 settlement offers per negotiator to work on for the day or for the week, depending on how many negotiators you have, we split it up evenly across your staff according to your own criteria, or customize it where people who are known to be less efficient get a smaller book. And this is just the reporting product. TurboSettle also offers a back-end product that allows you to create your own flow for your own teams within your company. Payments team, sales team, negotiating team, whatever it is that your company does, you can automate the operating flow using TurboSettle. Shortly, what an actual formula looks like. You'll see how crazy complicated it could be, yet it's broken down into just what could take months to program into just a group of settings where you can chain prefetched data, chain it together based on filters, other criteria of your choosing, have a very complicated data set that represents the input into a set of formulas that you then create that manipulates data with a source report and a target report or target table, and then an output column. And then you chain that into future formulas, and at the end of the day, you upload a very sparse or non-sparse, orthogonal or non-orthogonal data set that can be as complicated as you'd like it to be, or need it to be, or simple. And here it is. We're looking at a particular button. The contents of a button contains, again, the prefetch and then the formulas. And then at the very bottom, we see when you actually email the results, if you choose to email it, you can break it down into certain filters that we can provide for you based on your own business rules. These formulas show that the last name begins between A and C, go to one negotiator, etc., where those clients have not settled, or they have settled, one or two in the past. Now we're looking at the features of a button. We see the prefetch, the prefetch portion of a button, and these buttons then can be scheduled to run automatically, or your back-end teams can run them manually as part of different processes they might need to do, such as making payments. Now, your employees will never see the contents of these buttons, how they work. This is something we set up, or one of your admins would set up for you. And the power behind the button is what you're looking at now. When we in the prefetch state, you can get a table where the results are in an existing table that's already in memory on a certain field, and then chain it down synchronously or asynchronously. You could receive data, and then we get to the most interesting part, which is the formulas. Each formula has a source report, a target report, and an output column. And the output column there on the right is the result of looping through the source report, linked on some field that's common between the source and the target, and then providing data to the output column based on what the results are of looping through the source column is and matching data to the target column. We write what we see in the target and how it's morphed based on the operator, and we write that to the output column, either in memory or actually uploaded to the database. You can see down there, right there where I'm pointing now, is where we do the write actions. Now if we choose not to write, we go right into the next formula to chain those results and use the intermediary results for the next formulas. That has ramifications for whether we're writing, let it sit in memory, and then just do a single write at the end of all the formulas. Orthogonally or non-orthogonally, where there's sparse data, and or there are different fields for each record. So Pretty much anything a database expert can dream of can be set up here through settings. And because this was just an email button, there's not much here. There's really no formulas. There's just email the output after the prefetch in this button. But, you know, if we look at some more complicated buttons, even if we look at extract outcomes, let's see why everything's highlighted here. I think I hit select all by accident. Want to undo it. There we go. So you can see prefetching where age catch rating like A. It's a lot of characteristics. We can see what an object. We can see what an operation is on a matching, settle ratio, or and, plus, minus. There's a lot of operations that we can perform if we wanted to have a second target. And linking to and operating on the target report field or column, and maintaining the results in the output column of yet a third report or table if desired. And that's it. That is a basic representation of the complexity of a formula. Thank you for watching the TurboSettle video series.